Hi guys, I'm Lauren. I'm here with Chelsea. We are talking about sleep habits with the PMPG team. And today I'm going to ask Chelsea, how many hours of sleep do you average a night?
So the last 2 to 3 months have been busy, and I've been more at like 7 hours of sleep a night. That's not 6 to 7. That's a lie. I totally overshot it to sound better. But usually it's more like, ideally I'm aiming for 8.5 to 9, to be perfectly honest.
Yes.
In my perfect world.
Honesty hour.
9 hours of sleep would be really nice. I go to bed at 8:30 when I have the choice.
Okay. And what do you find that disrupts your sleep? If you do something, you feel unrested the next day?
Yeah, so it's been really interesting. So from June of 2020 to June of 2021, I didn't drink at all. No adult beverages of any kind. And I had like the best year of sleep of my life. And even though like life was stressful and I had a lot of work to do, I slept really well. And since reintroducing any drinks whatsoever, I do not get good sleep those nights. Both like I don't feel great, and my lovely smart technology that is my watch yells at me and informs me that I've slept terribly almost every time. So it's been really interesting to go from having a year of really great sleep to like, oh shoot, yeah. When they say like alcohol impacts your sleep habit or like your sleep quality, not like whether or not you sleep, because I know plenty of people say that they need that they'll use a drink to like help unwind and go to bed.
Right.
But how good is that sleep you're getting? Because at least I can say for myself, it's definitely gone downhill.
Right.
Since starting to have any sort of drinks whatsoever, like a drink.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's fair. So going along with that, name a time where you didn't sleep well and how it affected other aspects of your life.
So now, separate from any sort of reintroducing alcohol into my system, it's just been a very busy, stressful time between doing probably too many hours of work between PMPG, high school lacrosse coaching, renovating a condo,
a lot of stuff,
moving. So I've been living in that like 6 to 7 hour range, and I am definitely more fatigued. My eating habits get worse because it's just your body craves, at least my body craves more carbohydrates and sugar to give me like that immediate energy boost because they're easier to digest and easier to process, so you get that like quick spike right away. My workouts have been non-existent to poor, I would say.
Yeah.
So like with this being the start of August, I'm getting back into like an actual training regimen as I've cut things out of my life to create time for being more rested, both with sleep and mentally outside of work. You just don't have as much bandwidth and capacity for things when I'm not well slept, basically. Right.
So then going into August, what is kind of like your non-negotiable sleep hack or something that you think will help you sleep better?
Well, I think I'm not going to like fully swear off drinking again for a year, but I'm going to further limit my intake probably to just like date nights and things of that nature, or like nights out with friends as opposed to like having a drink at home. Because I just can't afford to do it during the week. I'm too tired and got to be up too early and too many things to do. For me, at least, part of what's going to help my sleep is just better managing my schedule as well, and recognizing the fact that I was overextended and cutting things out to make time for things that actually are life and energy giving as opposed to energy sucking, like sleep, energy giving, so that I actually have like the capacity to do all those other things as time allows, and like in seasonalities of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
So really schedule management.
Yeah. Do you have any other tips for our viewers on sleep?
Figure out what works for you. I would say like outside of just being, more protective of my time for sleep, I do take like magnesium and zinc at night, and then ashwagandha, which is like an adaptogen herb that's calming. My body responds well to CBD, so I take some of that at night as well to wind down. And the magnesium and zinc are because I am, and I know plenty of people are pretty low in those minerals, so it's helpful because those are both calming as well. And then I've done a poor job of like turning screens off, so that's definitely impacted like how quickly I fall asleep,
Right.
I would say. So getting back to that, really dark room. I use a sleep mask. That's nice. Trying to think what else. And then I try to go to bed earlier because there's enough research that would suggest that like the sleep you get before midnight is more higher in quality than the sleep you get after midnight. So like 8 hours of sleep from 1 a.m. to 9
Right.
is maybe not going to affect you the same way as 8 hours of sleep starting at, 10 p.m. even and going to 6 because of circadian rhythms. When you think about when days, when like the sun goes down, sun
Right.
comes up. So matching your sleep cycle with that has been helpful for me. At least I get a benefit from that.
That's interesting.
I know.
I did not know that.
Yeah, but I've like experimented with that and have to recognize that between, other jobs I've held where I didn't have the option to like
Right.
sleep with the sun basically.
The normal one.
When the sun
That
goes
you're
to
meant
sleep, I go to sleep, basically is the rule. When it wakes up, I wake up.
It's a good rule.
It's a great rule. It works well for me, in Wisconsin at least. I think the next thing I'm going to experiment with is like a weighted blanket to see if that like helps downregulate a bit more,
Yeah.
but stay tuned. It's on back order.
Cool. Awesome.
That's all I got.
Well, thank you, Chelsea.
Yeah.